Next is enterprise workshop, that is also known as large group consensus forming and review meeting. Problem solving type is information sharing, convergent thinking, and process roles are customer lead and ideally or facilitator. Customer lead will be the doing this enterprise workshop. Next is content roles, that is customer review team will be doing the what all the content has to be represented or given in the enterprise workshop. Communication techniques are hierarchy posters, written descriptions, or PowerPoint or sticky walls. All those things you can use any one of these to represent the information. And range of duration 1.5 hour, 6.5 hour to 6.5 hour. That is for the minimum duration is should be 1.5 hour. Maximum it can go for 6.5 hour. Whole day to if it is taking 6.5 hour. If you are giving only a little bit information related to the technology, then it will be of 1.5 hour. Background is the customer review team is a large group, then the customer leads, uh, whose consensus will be required to proceed to implementing the problem solution, and the purpose of this workshop is to share information and build consensus by the uh, soliciting input into the solution, or how to give the solution with respect to the what all the problem we have and what all the problem solution methods we have. All those information we have to give to the groups or yeah teams in the industry. For them we need to give the information that through the workshops we are giving. Okay, and preparation is create large format of poster from the hierarchies for the hierarchies, and create a three ring binder to all other materials. Means what all the materials we are giving, means like posters created, like ppts created, and what all the information data sheets they have to know. All those things we have to combine it and make it as a books, and we will be distributing it at the time of the workshop, such as the excel listing of the primitive definitions and their sources, and prepare headings and items for the sticky walls. 72 point Times New Roman font is their procedure. Bring the poster and some binders with the row 1 definition to the workshop with enterprise stakeholders. Have the enterprise take ownership of the meeting and talk through the each hierarchy validation and validating the models. And this workshop is usually done in one hierarchy at a time. See, whatever the hierarchies we have prepared in the previous method or previous section, that has to be verified and it has to be explained to each and every person, because the person who is working, he should know to whom he has to inform or who to whom he has to work for. Okay, who is his higher authorities, that he has to know. Okay, that's why this workshop has to be conducted and given information to each and every person who is working in the industry. Next we have matrix mining, that is also known as creating another matrix, and problem solving type is convergent thinking. Okay, one second. Yeah, both we'll see in the videos in the at the end of the session. Okay, in problem solving type convergent thinking, and process role is task lead, who is EA problem solving SME, and content roles are the teams, and communication techniques are silent document review and internal review workshop. Range of duration is 1 hour or 1 hour to 2 days. You can give it for 2 days or so, because we are continuously reviewing the documents, and internal review workshops has to be done. For that reason, it needs, if we are going for any normal workshop or internal review workshop, then it will need minimum of 1 day or 2 days. And document review, if the size of the document is less, then you need only 1 hour or 1 day. If it is more, then you can go for the 2 days. Depends on with respect to the documentation, how much amount of documentation we are maintaining. With respect to that, duration will change. Background is matrices are composite models that shows relationships and effects between the columns of the Zuckman framework. With respect to the columns, we are going to check the relationship between the each and every columns with respect to matrices. Preparation is reuse the documents collected for document mining. We can use those documents to do the document mining. See, for the next level, or for the next uh, preparation of the architecture, Zuckman framework, or prepare the Zuckman framework, we can use the currently prepared framework or documents for further implementation of the for further implementation of new architectures and all. We can use it or reuse it for the document mining. Okay, procedure is carefully review the documents for cross column relationship. You have to check with respect to the cross column relationship from one column to another column, how it is related. In that way, we can do it through document reviewing. That is a sentence involving more than one column. For example, a role and a process. Keep track of each relationship, including the document, quoted text, and the page number. Then conduct an enterprise workshop to validate the matrices. See, you have to first write it down or mention it in one of the documents, that which type of interrelationship is there between the one column to the another column, and we have to take that information, or we have to make it as a highlighted, or you have to make it as a quoted text, and then you have to retain the page numbers. Then at the time of enterprise workshop, you can validate all those information whatever you have collected it at the time of document verification or document reviewing, and then you can validate the matrices with respect to these document information. Okay, that is the procedure. And nominal group techniques. Group technique is also known as spit watts, a fan variation, sorry, a fun variation, that is nominal group technique. Problem solving is divergent thinking, information sharing, and convergent thinking, and then convergent thinking. All those things you can discuss in this. And process roles is facilitator, flip chart recorder will be used, and content roles the team, and communication techniques are silent writing, group notes, group definitions, and stew poll. And ranges during quarter hour or half an hour. It may take only this much amount of time. The background is the widely used meeting procedure called nominal group technique, published in 1975, is only slightly varied by collecting the ideas anonymously and redistributing them instead of having each person read his or her idea in the round robin format. Means continuously they will be discussing about their ideas. See, previously they were doing collecting all the ideas anonymously, means You won't be knowing who has generated this idea. But instead of that, if we are going for nominal group technique, the each and every person will read out his own idea in round robin format. Means one person will complete it, after that one person, after that one person. In that way, continuously, uh, they will be communicating with respect to that. At that time, the person will get the credits with respect to his own ideas. Okay, preparation is the facilitator and the business owner prepare a seed question that is written on the flip chart, and the facilitator brings slips of paper and spare pens and waste basket for or simpler container. And procedure is, see, all these things are when needed with respect to that is, the facilitator explains the technique and distributes the slips of paper, and groups silently writes the question for the set of period, typically 5 to 10 minutes, and facilitate directs the group to crumble up their ideas and throw them into the waste basket, which the facilitator playfully carries and tries to make it as a game. And facilitator then um, redistributes the slips of paper randomly, and the paper are read aloud round robin. As the paper are read, they are recorded on the flip chart by the facilitator or someone in the recorder role. The idea are then numbered. The facilitator asks people to define the ideas and ask if there are any duplicates or ideas that should be combined. See, what all the ideas they are writing in the slips, that should be communicated through all who all are present in that group. And then that's why he will the each and every person who is in the group will be randomly picking up the papers, and they will be saying it aloud, all the what all the ideas they have in the group, the other person will be writing, no, those slips will be in the basket. They will be picking the each and every chit, one any one chit they can take, and they will be speaking it out loud, and that will be mentioned in the board. After that, everyone will be discussing about that idea, and then if any other similar type of ideas are there, that can be combined with respect to the same idea. After combining, you will get the proper list of the ideas which they have discussed in the whole group. Okay, the final step is to take a stew poll, have people pick the best two or three ideas, and the facilitator calls for the vote and record the results. Means you may get more than 10 or 15 ideas. With respect to those ideas, you will be asked, sir, the group members are asked for the polls. Means they have to vote for the best two or best three technologies or best three ideas. Then with respect to that, they will be recording the information on the stew poll. Okay, they will be writing it on the board, and whichever three ideas will get the highest vote, that will be implemented. Okay, review and conduct the focused discussion of the priority generated. The discussion could have been could then transition to action planning. Okay, whatever the votes they have got for the best three or two ideas, that will be implemented uh, as a process. Okay, that is with respect to nominal group technique. Okay, next is mini patterns for problem solving meeting. This we finished, no? Yeah. mini patterns for problem solving meetings. These mini patterns are additional techniques to round out your meeting facilitation skills. Techniques such as breakouts and the idea parking lot are classic approaches for conducting the effective meetings. And get organized is that is, if you have no agenda, brainstorm these two questions on the flip chart. That is, why are we here and what outcomes do we want? If you have that back these two questions, then definitely you can create the agendas related to the meeting. Okay, breakouts, that is, meetings are least productive when only one person talks and everyone else does nothing but listening and taking the notes. In general, people's creativity is inhabited in the group larger than 5. The facilitator can ask that the group form small discussions to address a particular question and then have them report back their conclusions subgroup by subgroup. And another approach is quickly generate a list of topics or concerns, that is brainstorming or brain rating, and then have each breakout take one problem to solve and subgroup before debriefing the general session. See, whenever you are going for a breakouts means how to create the groups properly. Whenever we are conducting the meetings, how to take out the proper number of people, or if we are discussing with respect to technology, how many number of people should be there. If we are going more than 5 or 6, then it will be overshadowing will occur, means one person will be giving more number of ideas. You can one person who is in the who is a head of that group, he can communicate or he can get the information only by more than 4. If they are concentrating for each and every idea, then he can give more time only for the 4 to 5 members. If we are giving more than that many numbers, that is more than 5 members to the group, then it will become difficult for the facilitator also. And the discussion or group will be more effective if all the group members are communicating properly. Okay, and how to do the grouping whenever you have agendas or you have more number of topics or technologies, then you have to give the those problems to solve to the subgroups. To You have to tell them the whole group has to divided into in terms of 5 subgroups or 4 subgroups. Then you have to give the problems which have been discussed in the main group and then tell them to solve with respect to that. That is the breakouts. Flip charts, that is, unlike a computer or a whiteboard, flip chart gives a group unlimited space for creativity. When a page of a flip chart is uh, filled, it is moved and taped to the nearby wall. Flip charts are group notes, that is, people do not need to be taking their own notes. They can have their heads up and be fully engaged in the meeting. Flip charts are also highly portable and unlike whiteboard. Flip charts means you will be printing out what all the data you want to represent, that will be shown as the flip charts, and you can move and uh, transfer it to the nearby wall, and it can be uh, our group. These are the group notes and people do not need to be taking their own notes. No need to take, simply going through or inform taking the information from those flip charts are enough. Time management is, if you plan an agenda, plan the time for each meeting topic and stick to it, or ask the group if they want to extend the time. Assign a timekeeper to Remind the group, make sure there is a highly visible clock in the meeting room, time concerns and time consciousness keeps people focused on the problem solving. See, whenever we are going for the time management, whenever we are conducting the meeting, see if it goes on continuously with respect to discussion of the problems and discussion of unnecessary things, then definitely it will be a problem for completing other works. For that reason, always time management is very important when we are going with respect to the restricted time or restricted problem solving part. Okay, problems has to be discussed in the starting part, and then problem solving part will take some amount of time. Within that much amount of, that's why we have to fix the some amount of time for communicating and to problem for the problem solving space. And ground rules, having some ground rules for each meeting so that uh, distractions are minimized and the group doesn't waste the time. We have to put the restrictions because if we are going out of the agenda discussions, then definitely the problem will occur, or the meeting simply waste of time will be there. For that reason, we can go with the ground rules. Idea parking lot, that is post a separate flip chart to capture the ideas that are outside the meeting's purpose. That is, revisit these ideas at the end of the meeting and decide as a group how they should be addressed. See, idea parking lot, one more flip chart, empty flip chart will be maintained where you will be discussing or you will be simply noting down the what all the extra things or ideas are getting from the group, then you have to mention it in the that chat and then communicate with respect to that after the completion of the meeting. And other problem solving catalogs are general problem solving and business meeting facilitations are similar disciplines, and they share common catalogs of techniques, and perhaps the most widely used and respected catalog of technique is techniques of structured problem solving by Arthur Van uh, Gundy. That is Springer. That is one of the book related to problem solving method, and new techniques are constantly being developed. Beyond problem solving, there is a new generation of technique based upon possibility thinking. That is, with respect to possibilities, what all the possibilities we have to solve this or upgrade the technology. More than 60 possibility thinking methods we have published, that has been published by Holman and uh, Divani, that is in 2007, using techniques such as the circle way, the world cafe, open space, and uh, appreciative inquiry. Groups are encouraged to explore new possibilities based upon the organizational strength rather than dwelling on problems and weaknesses. Simply, uh, what all the weaknesses are there, what all the problems are there, to maintain that or to solve those problems only, not to discuss. You can see for the what all the possibilities are there to grow, and what are the possibilities are there to solve, and what are the possibilities are there to go for the new technologies or new representations. That is the main thing.